Here I am in a beautiful place in Scotland. My good friend Avishai's place, that's his garden to start with. The beach is over there, and this is Mr. Avishai. Mr. Avishai took some mushrooms at one point, and he illustrated it and told a bit of a story, and I'd like to introduce you to Avishai's story about taking mushrooms at the Calanish Stones and getting arrested by the police.
Okay, so shall I start then?
Yes.
Oh,
Please.
the Calanish Mushroom Monster. I arrive at Calanish Stones, pitch my tent, feel a bit insecure and paranoid, walk round the stones, find a few more mushrooms on the way, look over the mound above the stones, light a joint, decide to take the mushrooms I had bought with me and the fresh ones I collected, about 160. Gobble some homemade cookies and take the taste away. Now me want some cookies. I try to light a joint, I can't get it to light. Eventually I light it and go down to the middle of the stones, smoke the joint in the middle of the stones. The stones are full of American tourists. They're photographing the stones. Take a picture of me by the stones, they say. I feel a bit self-conscious. I think I should get out of their way. I was sitting in the middle of the stone and an old American lady say, "Gee, he's meditating," he said to me. "Is this a good place to meditate?" They walk around taking photographs. They rather amuse me, a very serious business. I feel up with being so many tourists to be I get fed up with there being so many tourists. I can't concentrate in the stones. Americans remind me of Sesame Street. And I am the Calanish Mushroom Monster who gets fed up with American tourists. Me had enough of tourists. Me the Calanish Mushroom Monster. He wants to go find some mushrooms. I walk around the hills of the stones, growling as I went. Me wants mushrooms. I found a bagful and wandered around the downs, feeling one with nature, like the kind of Neolithic animal. Me wants the mushrooms. I wander around the tree-like terrain with hillocks with the mushrooms on them. Eventually, I go back to the stones. They're calling me back. I go back to the standing stones. Yeah, me found some mushrooms. I walk around the stones, sit by them, find certain lines, stand in the middle of the tomb in the area, make a flower pattern in the mud with my foot. That is a...
Yeah, of your foot, yeah.
The pattern's in the grass, a raven flies through the middle of the stones. The stones illuminate. I shut my eyes in the middle of the circle, and she patterns danced around the stones. I felt like I was invisible. Lay down on the grass and feel like I was part of the ground. I felt like I was getting in touch with the spirit of my late dog, Jed. I got funny looks from the local dogs. The two locals saw me. Are you all right? Do you need any help? Have you been drinking? Are the stones bothering? Maybe you should go and give them a cuddle. Colours of the stones, there's me saying, I'm gonna go for it, I'm gonna go for it. That's me dancing around the stones, singing, running round the stones, being a chicken. Becoming part of the ground, being invisible, not existing anymore, thinking I was dead, closing my eyes, seeing colours. I'm gonna go for it. I don't care what anyone says. The stones put up a facade to entertain tourists and so-called visionary hippies to give a superficial sense of fulfillment and satisfy their egos. But that was not directly important about them. The stones did not deny it. There's something very special which is timeless and antique. I've traveled to find it and I could feel it. They put up the facade, but I was not satisfied with it. I'm gonna go for it. Whatever might happen, I pushed forward. I felt resistant. I felt like I was being strangled. I retreat into my tent and lie down on my back. I end up shouting at the stones and tell them that I'm going to go for it and they can all fuck off. I shout abuse at the stones and say they've been putting up a facade to entertain tourists and that they're not like me because I'd seen through it. I found resistance. I felt like I was being strangled. I'm shouting. My dialogue with the stones was suddenly interrupted. Something calls me outside. I go outside my tent. I go outside and see two policemen. While I was lying there, I had visions of coloured mushrooms, found myself in separate pieces, felt like a snake-like creatures crawling all over me. There's me in the tent, me in my tent, vision of the mushrooms. The policeman said that they were informed by a concerned resident about my behaviour at the stones, saying that I wanted to die. They say it can't go on and have to take me back to the Stornoway police station, arrested for breach of the peace. They say they were concerned. They quickly get my stuff. I help them take down my tent, and they put me in the back of the police van. When they first find me, I say I'm hearing messages from the stones. They inquire about my mental health, if I'm taking any medication or had any argument recently. They seem very understanding. The message I heard from the stones sounded so real and vivid, like something inside but outside. I'm convinced about it, and I tell the police that the stones were speaking to me. I felt rather bad about causing trouble, but I apologised to the concerned resident. He said it's all right. I sit in the back of the van waiting for the concerned resident to give the full account.